What's going on? You're hanging out with Death Count. Welcome back to part 2 of my room collection tour. As I told you from part 1, there's going to be a lot of shit we're going to be going over, right? But I'm focusing today, part 2, on the figures in the display case. We left off right over here with these twins. This isn't multiplicity, but it is Michael Keaton. Look at this Hot Toys Batman 1989. This is an older figure now, man. I think it came out around 2011. And, or was it even 2009? Damn. I'm not even sure, but this thing is a beaut, man. This is my first ever Hot Toy. It was a must-have. And I was very hesitant to buy it. And part of it was the price. And part of it was how addicting I know some of these figures are. But I knew I needed this because it takes me back, way back to 1989, June, right? I remember when my dad called me when he got out of work. He asked me if I wanted to go see Batman, of course, right? So he came over, he picked me and my brother up, and I'll never forget, on the way to see this movie, I saw this giant Batman 89 poster, just like that one. And I was so hyped, man, just so hyped on the way. And at that time, man, like the only Batman I was aware of was, I had a few comic books, right? But he wore blue and he wore gray, and I was familiar with the Adam West show. And so I was very surprising when I saw Batman in black and the way he was speaking. You know, like he was like, "I'm Batman." And I don't know if you guys know this, but Michael Keaton was the first person as Batman who ever lowered the voice to do it. Of course, he's well known for saying "I'm Batman," but he was the first person to change voices between Bruce Wayne and Batman, and that inspired Kevin Conroy in the future when they made Batman the animated series. But so let's focus on the figure. But I have such a love on this movie, and especially on this figure. If I could only keep one figure in my collection, it would be this. It took me a while to make the cape look very straight lines. What I had to do is, if you guys own this, you guys know how his arms flare out a bit. So what I did was, you can't see it here. I don't know if I can sneak under there. Probably not. But I put rubber bands around his arms to keep him down. So I was able to fold the cape a lot, as you can see it, and gave it that straight line look. Man, I wish the cape wasn't this long. It was not that long in the movie, but this is an amazing figure. And I don't know, man. This is just so fucking awesome, dude. It's so awesome. Love this figure. And it comes with every accessory you could ever think to have. You know, it even comes with the battle damage face. So, absolutely love this figure. Moving on to Batman Returns. I remember, of course, seeing Batman Returns in theaters as well. When I saw the poster before the movie came out, when I saw Catwoman, just as I was shocked to see Batman in black, I was just as shocked to see Catwoman in black, because I wasn't familiar with Catwoman that much. I think in the comics at that time, I'm not sure if she was wearing purple yet, but she looked nothing like Michelle Pfeiffer in the movie. So it was a shock, and the way the Penguin looked was like scary. So being a kid, you know, I'm born 1983. I saw the movie 92. I was 9. So like I was at that perfect age to go see this movie, and I absolutely loved it, man. I was not scared of the movie. I loved it, man. I know a lot of people say it's too dark, it's too this, but I thought it was perfect, man. I loved it. I didn't love it as much as 89. Part of it too was Jack Nicholson, but when this figure came out, I knew I had to get the 2-pack, because this is exactly how I wanted to display him. You know, you can see him holding the broken cowl, has his hand out, asking for Selina to take his hand, right? You know, he kind of has like that Darth Vader pose, like, "Join me, Selina, and we can destroy the Emperor," right? But I love this pose. I love this figure. The cape, compared to this one, is a little better, right? The look of it is better, the leather, and it's a little thinner. It doesn't have the wires like it does in this. But the problem is, there's so much cape in it that it flails out. So I know I should have used magnets, but I know you can't see it either. But I used tape to keep the cape together, to give me this look. You know, it worked out fine, man. I can't see the tape in the back of it, so whatever. Cape looks amazing. Both of these figures look great. And one of my favorite pieces of this figure is the base, man. This is all, it's very rough. I wish they did the 89 poster here, but it's just perfect, man. It is a great base. I know you guys see that as a Superman base, but just using it to hold Batman's head. I usually don't show off extra heads that comes with figures, but I had to show this, man. I'm such a Michael Keaton Batman fan, man. Like, I want to see everything, you know? I want to see everything from it, and the face is great, man. You can see it right there. Incredible look, so love these two great movies, man. I wish Tim Burton did the third movie as well, but that's history. So let's move on down to another Batman. Here we have Hot Toys Batfleck, Batman v Superman. I recently made a video of this, so not going to spend too much time. I can say the suit from the movie is incredible, man. Black and gray is something that we've been waiting for a long time. The material on the suit, it's just perfect, man. This is the Batman you want to own because you could pose him in just about any pose you want. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth the cash. But I know this figure now is very pricey, but the likeness is 100%. The suit looks 100%. It's just the color is a little off, man. It's a little dark compared to the real thing, but it is absolutely perfect, man. No matter how you pose him, he's gonna look good. He's gonna look tough. So I'm not gonna spend too much on this. And do I like the movie? Yes, I do like the movie. I know a lot of people hate it, but I really like the movie. So see all the battle damage on the base. It's just awesome, man. Let's move on to the Batfleck Armored Batman. This thing is a tank, dude. I feel like if the Christian Bale Batmobile, man, you know what I mean, man, like the Tumbler, I think if that Tumbler drove into this Armored Batman, I think that car would just be demolished, man. I think this Batman is tougher than that fucking than that Batmobile, man. I know it sounds silly, but I love this figure, man. It is a beast. If I had to pick one, I'll probably go with the Armored. I just love the Armored look, dude. It's so tough. I'm such a big Frank Miller fan. Look at the like the rigged, tough edges at the end of the cape. It's just so tough, man. It scratches all over the place. This is an amazing figure. Amazing figure, man. It's harder to pose him compared to that one, but this thing in your collection will really stand out. It's really tough, man. Great, amazing work from Hot Toys. Let's move on down. I'm really on my knees now. Here we have, of course, Hot Toys T2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. As you can see, let me try and back up a little. What I did here was I went to Home Depot and I bought some chain, and I got some black, I got some black ties there, zip ties. And it's not that pretty, but when you stand up, you can't even tell. I really wanted this pose, man. I dreamed of doing this pose. Even before I got the figure, I dreamed of this pose. I put a little molten steel at the bottom. This is not, that's not what I'm going to permanently have. This is more of a test. It does look pretty good, but I'm going to get some more quality paper for it. Over here, this is another test. I put some thin orange paper here to kind of give that orange, kind of orange light to it. And it looks incredible, man. Let me try and back up here. Right, there is no bad pose with this thing. It is awesome. One of my favorite scenes, man, is probably, I remember seeing this in theaters too. This is probably the first scene, or first movie I cried while watching, man. This was a sad scene. Right, man, if you grew up at that time, you know what I'm talking about. So, the detail is incredible. You know, this is another older figure. Right, it is great, man. It's fucking awesome. So, I'm getting to that point now. I didn't want this video to be more than 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. We'll be finishing up in the display case, starting with the Jokers. Now we're going to have some Batman Forever stuff and some others. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll get that part 3 up real soon. Talk to you later.